Okay, hello and welcome back to DragonPoetSociety. My name's Nicholas, your resident DM here, and we're yet again joined by our lovely smaller party as Flo and the Cackler, played by Sarah and Nate respectively, are missing in action, and that takes us right into what's going on with this session. So, when last we left off, the party was in sorrowful gloom despite their success at Bright Meadow, or moderate success, and sunny surroundings, as the Lord of Vulture had ambushed the party and kidnapped Flo and the Cackler. Bloodied and bewildered, the party rested and rallied together to return with their captive Kenku Needlebeak in tow to the shrine of Elito at the crossroads where they had previously stopped to check on Anetka's family and hear the news. After a fair bit of travel, the party did arrive to see that the previously nearly empty shrine has been swollen and overfilling with refugees, patrolling soldiers, and radiant reach folk attempting to seek asylum and safety before carrying on to the shining city of Solni. Turning over their captive to the soldiers, the party then reconvened with Kesseled, the dispossessed and lonely Vienthin, who was also a victim of the Lord of Vultures, who gave them a letter from the impatient Terrafleas, anxiously writing about the missing lumens. The party also met with Anetka's family and confirmed several other Bright Meadow citizens were killed by the Lord of Vultures during their exodus. After a brief pause at an unusually woven patch of grass that caused Slate to burst out into dance, the party made their way to the even more overwhelmed city gates of Solni, with refugees being screened for association with the shaded reach of Shadvir, and shade-cloth tent towns forming outside the walls of the city, as people were being turned away. Paying the exorbitant 4 to 5 gold a head gate fee, the party made their way into the city and were nearly immediately set upon by a red braid of the Prismir's Office of Arcane Regulation, who approached Anetka and gave her a 3-turning deadline to register with the office or set aside her power as part of the arcane regulatory body that the Prismir is. Shaken, but continuing on, the party followed Tennille to the Kelnara family estate, and in the Jewels Ward with Anetka's parents in tow. There they reconvened with Lutheus, caring for Mr. Slimy, the giant shimmer spine snail, and found out that Uncle Galen was away at an important meeting somewhere in the city. Securing rooms in the estate for themselves and for Anetka's parents, the party then began their investigation for clues as to where Arcturus, Lord of Vultures, may have taken their captive companions. During the search, they came across a corpse in an alleyway in an otherwise relatively safe area of the Trades Tow Ward with a strange tattoo and an unusual knife that, after a bit of extra searching, was found to be concealing a interestingly cryptic letter addressed as a clothing shipment to TTT. Pressing into the Werewarrens on the eastern shores of the city, where Needlebeak had said the Kenku were initially hired to assist the Lord of Vultures in his endeavors, the party cleverly bribed a few keen-eyed street urchins who said that they hadn't heard anything about any pirate captain, but that a man known as Folion the Fox, who was extremely dangerous, was buying and renovating numerous properties for his illicit black market trade, as well as his other business dealings, which apparently give him some clout with the sort of respectful side of Solni as well. The party was worried this individual was beyond their ability to directly confront, and instead ventured to the docks with the thin hope of learning of Flo's ship that had taken her to Solni in the first place, gather other information before attempting to seek other veins by which they might tap for sources of knowledge. So, with that all said, you guys are in the Werewarrens. This is the 87th turning of the second shard, with nearly just about 4 days left before mid-year's turning. 7 days after you guys have formed as an initial party. So, with that, what is everyone doing?
All right, folks. Are we going to go... And she's saying this quietly. I can't do this accent without half yelling. So, are we going to go down and maybe try to bribe the dockmaster?
Please. Just, please.
What?
When we go to the docks, just stand there and look scary.
She'll attempt to look scary, and she is, this guy is just a very scary... Is this scary?
Yes. Very scary. Very scary. just pretend you're Slate, because he's terrifying when he wants to be.
She'll attempt to look like Slate, but she just looks constipated.
Please just look like a mini version of Sleep.
So you should disguise yourself as next.
All right. Yes, many of the party members, I think Renostis, Tennille, and Anetka had all used disguise self, or some of the disguising techniques, to make themselves a little more roughed up and ready to roll in the Werewarrens, which is sort of a rougher part, can be a rougher part of town. But for all of that, they are still kind of finagling around with what they decide what they want to do. So,
I've got about an hour of looking like this, so
Yes.
whatever we're doing, we need to do it quickly.
Got an hour of being the scary twins.
Alright,
Because twins are terrifying, apparently.
so our let's rehash. Our plan was to go find out what boat Flo came in on.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have any connections in the docks?
I think you'd probably be our best bet for having a connection.
Hey.
It's too bad Brody's not in town. I'm sure he...
Yeah, that would have been very helpful.
I mean, and she'll take a look at the letter. I wonder if... Because this was a fabric... And just at the outside, it said this was a fabric order for TTT. I wonder if there's an actual fabric warehouse or fabric store that's a criminal front?
That's a fair point. Maybe on the way back we should divert to where we found our friend and see if there are any fabric stores in the vicinity as well.
And I could go in as myself, you know. I'm very interested in fabric.
You are very interested in fabric.
I often... I mean, right now these clothes look disheveled and very leathery, but my normal outfit, you know, if they are actually fabric people, they should be able to see it's a fine quality make.
Mm-hmm. Let's start walking towards the docks. We'll do some walk and talk.
okay, yeah, you guys are walking, talking to the docks, and you see, as I mentioned before, numerous ships, including the Solnian Navy's Lambent ships, the Lumen-powered ships that are sort of off patrolling in the distance. You also see a few of the lighthouse towers that defend the outside sections of the city, especially the water line. Those are marked on the city map there that I gave as a handout to you guys. Additionally, you are noticing a fair bit still of trade, but it does look like on the docks themselves there's what seems to be, for those of you who have been to this area before, a more thorough checking of supplies, conversations with various captains and things like that. And you do see a few sections like little booths or awnings that are where you presume would be the portmasters taking in ledger information, scripts, and also insurance on voyages. And as always, it's a bright and sunny, eternally sunny day, and you're hearing sort of the sound of the waves off in the distance and getting some of that sea salt and tar and, you know, some briny smells too. This is not the cleanest part of the city. A lot of salt crust sailor type coming in and out, visiting revel dens, moving in from stuff in and out of various warehouses. You guys had passed the Werewarrens. You had looked at there before and found a few places stamped with the Quipper and Coin logo on a few of the warehouse fronts, indicating possibly being purchased. And you know that in the Werewarrens region, they definitely, many of these old warehouses have been renovated recently. Even before the Flicker event, you can imagine it's, looking around, you can kind of see this reaffirmed. You can imagine that it's increased as overpopulation problems are ramping up higher and higher with all the refugees. So it's a bustling, busy place. So.
As we're going in, I guess, thinking that the dockmaster might be a bit beyond us for today, I guess potentially looking for maybe a bar or a tavern where we could maybe gather some information at a lower price point.
Sure. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
That's a 14.
Okay. I'm gonna have to flip through my notes a little bit more often for this session because without Sarah's lovely laptop, I'm using mine to get a cat from afar here. So bear with that. But let's see here. Yeah, so we are able to. You got a 14, you said.
Yes.
Yeah, so you ask around / look at where a few people are going, kind of seeing where a lot of the sailors are stopping off, maybe individuals who might be more conducive to talking. And let me pull up the right section here. But you after a little bit, maybe 20 minutes, you find a place that you feel like is at least a reasonable visiting area, and you would know that. I was reading for a second. You find one that looks like the Whelk and the Whale.
I love it.
And it's got like a sort of a very crusted whale with barnacles and other invertebrate and other creatures crusted on its body as the sign. So you're gonna go ahead and enter on in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a pretty shanty-looking, renovated sort of building. It seems to be like it has sort of an attempt at a revel den, situation going on with a few courtesans, clad in sort of tactfully arranged, like sailcloth canvas. And stuff like that. You can tell that they like ship flags and stuff like that are leading customers to rooms by the hand. Otherwise, it seems like a very basic 2-story inn kind of place. There's a few people sort of moving around here and there, but it's not by any means a huge hub. It seems like an area for tougher customers, a few gambling. You see a group playing some sort of gambling card game in the corner. And behind the bar is an individual who looks like nothing more than a rather tomato-like human. Very just like thick neck, shoulder, head is all just like one fused piece, squat. Just like almost the same height as they are sideways. Not necessarily fat, just like built as just like this very brick-like individual. And sort of just polishing the bar. And got an eye patch and just sort of no head hair or anything like that, no beard, but just really weathered face, just kind of polishing the bar, kind of rougher looking place, but you guys do fit in as you guys are looking more rough as well.
Okay. I'll approach. Howdy. This is the deal we're talking about.
What? What are you having?
I'm gonna slide a gold across the counter. I'm looking for some information.
Kind of peeks his one eye at the gold, arches an eyebrow.
Kind of begin looming behind the team.
Okay, begin looming. What kind of things you looking for? How about a drink first?
Sure. What do you got?
Only have grog.
I'll take a grog.
One grog, please.
Let's do a round of grog for myself and my compatriots.
Motley mix, eh? Well, that'll be 5 silver.
Okay, I'll pay that.
Takes it and he pours. The consistency is very, almost stew-like for the drink. So it's a hearty drink, and it's potent
The grog
stuff.
milkshake.
Yeah.
So you'll drink it.
It's got a very seaweed mixed with alcohol flavor going on.
Cackler will attempt to drink hers, but you can tell she is not used to drinking alcohol.
Okay.
Oh!
So So I'll pay him that, and he's already got the gold. About.
Did you just outright hand him the gold? You weren't like proffering it. You
I
just
like slid
passed it over.
When I initially approached and I told him I was looking for information. I slid it across the counter.
Okay, so he takes the gold in half.
Kind of like
Pretend
loosening
it.
those lips.
Yep. Got it.
About 15, 20 turnings past, a ship came in with a, I'm going to call her Sea Blood because that's what they were calling her, a Sea Blood. Young, very pretty, a little bubbly, carrying a strange weapon, and we're looking for her. Did you happen to see anyone like that?
Well, I see a fair bit, but I can't say that I remember something so fair bit ago, 15 turn-ins ago. I could be lucky if I'm remembering what happened 3 turn-ins ago. A lot of folk come in and out of here. A lot of sea bloods, too. If it was a bubbly kind, I can't say that I would imagine that it's not the sort that I cater to.
What, how do I phrase it? Who would cater to that sort?
Can't remember. Maybe you could help me out?
I'll slide him 5 more silver.
Well, I'd say old Grendamere over at the Quench Bench might have something a little more of that sort. They're a little more flamboyant, you understand.
Okay. What was the name?
Grendamere?
Rendemir.
Grendomere.
No, we passed that one. It's in Revelry Row.
Yeah, it's on the Guildwater Stalls side of Revelry Row.
Okay. What was your name, friend?
Tirance.
How do I spell that?
Tirance.
Okay. Alright, I'll down my grog milkshake.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw.
Aneka will
You also
try
can
to
make
copy that.
Yeah, go ahead and make
that's a big old 7.
You all paid. She paid for grog for all of you guys, but whether you drink it or not is up to you. Okay.
7.
Yeah, both of you are feeling a little bit queasy and are intoxicated and going to be at disadvantage for some dexterity and intelligence-based checks there.
Oh, and I switched out Lesser Restoration. Boo!
What else is that spell for, right?
While Taniel's talking to the bartender, I'm going to look around to see if anyone's paying attention to our conversation.
Make a perception check.
That is a 22.
Wow, very nice. Yeah, you can tell that the pair of who look like half-orcs in the corner gambling, or playing some kind of gambling cards situation, are only like pretending to play cards at this point. They're more listening to what you've got going on. They're especially drawn to Slate, and just the fact that you guys are sort of huddling at the bar.
I'm gonna cast message to Netka and tell her, I think we have some interested card players. And then just big eyeballs over to them.
Aneka sort of try to subtly turn towards Slate and pass the message along. You're like, card players? Oh.
Slate will, I guess, think toward both Tennille and Aneka, and then we can share information that way. Basically, we both have a message, but between all 3 of us.
So remember, when you're casting message, you're not opening a channel for. You're first sending out something to say, and then you can.
That's it.
Yeah, and in his case, he's able to. It seems like he's able to do it with 3 people connected.
So what are you sending to me?
Basically what she said, that there's a couple of...
We're playing message telephone here.
Yes.
I will send back. I am terrible at cards. That's all I will say.
In that case, I'll sort of message Neil. Do we want to confront him or just... I mean, we're kind of strange. We're kind of strange. I don't blame them for staying. We could let it be, or I do speak half-orc.
Let's go take a seat.
Oh.
Not at the table.
Oh, okay, so you're just finding a separate table.
It's a separate table, yeah, and just kind of like nursing the dregs of my grog milkshake.
Okay, your grog shake. You guys are down, there at the table, kind of rickety. It's converted crates for chairs kind of situation, and you guys are just sort of huddled over your table there. Not any particular additional customers or anything like that come and bother you. And the folks playing cards, the two half-orcs, they seem to be sort of still casting the occasional glance your way, but mostly just keeping it subtle.
And whispering, since we're not... We could just let it be. We don't... We are slightly odd.
I think knows something.
It might just be lookouts. It might not be...
I could message one of them. Not like...
I'm feeling like that might go poorly.
Yeah, but I don't... I mean, I know a little bit about cards, growing up with Brody, but...
Can you cheat? I mean, it involves Brody, so I don't think so.
I mean, yes, he did teach me how to cheat. I'm a little drunk right now.
She's very drunk right now.
I'm a little drunk right
Yeah,
now.
that looks like 3-day-old piss, but I'm impressed you drank it.
I haven't had that much alcohol since I was in Brody's gang.
Brody has a gang.
At the alcohol comment, Neil's looking at you like, I never gave you alcohol. What did you... Like, that disapproving parent look.
You were not the only one in Brody's gang. Some thought it very fun to get the child drunk.
What were the names?
Later. I will tell you later.
Well, we could just leave and maybe drop our disguises on the way out, and...
I'll get right on that.
We could also go over and lose a game deliberately, see if that brightens them up.
I
Who
think
serves that brightens them up?
we're probably on a timetable here. Maybe we just
Yeah.
make tracks.
Yes.
That's... What about you? What do you think, Grandpa?
Well, I was hoping that they might have information, but I would be very embarrassed if my disguise dropped here, so I think maybe we should get out.
Alright.
Yeah.
Sounds like skedaddling is the plan.
You guys can't stay like that as long as you want.
No, we can do like an hour.
Like a what?
An hour.
Oh.
Drunk plus accent.
Ah.
For 1 R.
Yeah, we can sit there guys for an hour. Like, and I can cast it again, but we don't want to let it. We have to let it drop before we
Getting
go.
flashbacks to that game that we had.
Oh God.
Oof.
Alright. Let's head out then.
Okay, so you guys exit.
Immediately upon exiting the bar, Netka's gonna find an alley to vomit into.
Okay, yeah. You're not alone in the alley. There is who it looks like a very weathered-looking gnome, rock gnome, with sort of a bright, or a shock of sort of black hair with like a bright purplish pink like highlight towards the bangs, and she's also kind of. Had too much grog, in the first half of the turning, yep, that it's a smelly alleyway. That's for sure.
As she comes up, and Netka's gonna be, God, that's like drinking piss.
And she just kind of collapses sideways in a puddle of her own vomit.
Netka's gonna kind of sort of
Put her in the recovery
put her in
position.
the recovery position.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, it's like, I guess learned this in Brody's gang too.
Yeah, help you like kneel down and like get her situated.
You know, it'd be kind of funny if I put her on the roof. She just wakes up there.
I'm worried she'd like fall off of it.
She might. Let's not. But it'd be funny if she did. Well, not fall, but we'll go up there.
Anyways.
Sorry.
Sneel's not slurring, but he's definitely like weaving around a little bit.
Okay, so while you're in the alleyway, was it just you who put her in the... You went in there to put her in the recovery position?
I was checking
Okay,
on
so the two of you were there. Did the other two join in the alleyway as well?
I imagine
Absolutely not.
Renasus is like standing outside the alleyway trying to give them their privacy.
Got it. Okay, you two, who were in the alleyway, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh
I
boy.
thought you were going to say a con save.
Is this a disadvantage or?
You are still in sunlight, yeah. So, well, it's an alleyway, so you'd be in you'd probably notice sticking to the shadier parts of the alleyway.
And we
So
can
I'd say it's
still see, even though we're like real drunk.
yeah, I'll allow it. It's usually intelligence and dexterity based that alcohol traditionally affects.
23. I'm feeling very perceptive.
Okay.
19, I'm looking around.
Okay. You notice that the gnome's vomit seems to be eating part of the cobblestones, like it's acidic, like extremely acidic.
Is that normal?
Aneka's gonna look at her own vomit.
It is just normal. Gross, but normal.
Well, that's not normal. Hey, Ren.
Grandpa.
Well, yeah.
Do you know much about rock gnomes?
I mean, as much as the next person does, maybe a bit more. Why do you ask?
Does their vomit normally dissolve things?
Because does their vomit
You would know that this is extremely abnormal.
Just a racial
That's
trait.
extremely abnormal.
And she does look pretty like emaciated. This individual.
But if lean down and like check for a pulse, like is she still
Make a medicine check.
alive?
And while she's doing that, I'm gonna just kind of like look at the vomit.
Okay.
See if it looks familiar.
Okay, make a perception check. What'd you get?
Familiar
15.
looking vomit.
15. There is a pulse. It's about half as fast as it normally should be. What'd you get, Renostis, on your check?
20 total.
20 total. It seems that it's very faint, but there seems to be an extra hues of pink with little, like, sparkles of gold.
And that doesn't remind me of any signs of poisoning that I've seen before.
Not that you know of.
Is that a drug that I would have heard about?
You're not there to look at. You're not there to look at it. You said you're out in the hallway.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is that a drug I've heard about?
So yeah, it's a drug I've heard of.
I'm sure Renostis is sitting there mumbling like, "Oh, there's pink with a hint of gold. That's not usually found in vomit."
Yeah. Neither of you recognize this.
Yeah, and it's a different it's a different color than like all the dyes that Patches use.
Looking around, I'm gonna kind of go back to the mouth of the alley.
Hmm?
Is there any other are there any other rock gnomes in the area? Or maybe it looks like somebody that she might have been around.
Make a perception check with disadvantage. So there you go, sunlight.
And
That's
while she's doing,
an 8.
There's the occasional gnome amongst everyone else in the crowd, but nothing that immediately stands out of where this person came from.
Okay.
Other than the pink glittery stuff, does the vomit look like normal vomit? Like,
Define normal.
like does it look like more like it's just you threw up bile with pink, or is it chunkier? Or
Sorry for all those of you eating at home. This it is viscous, more like mucus, but no chunks or obvious food pieces.
well, that's odd. And she does the comparison to because normal vomit next to it. Like normally, like you have to be pretty sick to just be throwing up just bile.
Renostis, were you gonna do something?
yeah, I'm gonna go to her side and I'll grab a bottle out of my suit jacket and actually I'm not wearing a suit jacket anymore. Out of my shirt and administer it to her and cast Healing Word.
Okay. You do so. You see a few bruises and stuff like that on her arms, and they sort of seem to fade, but she still has that sort of emaciated, very sickly-looking appearance, and still remains unconscious.
Okay.
Would you take us somewhere?
So, yeah,
Cassius?
we're not welcome at Cassiel's right now.
Oh, yeah. Your uncle?
Do I know if there's any like public medical facilities in the vicinity?
You would know that there are churches that you could potentially take her to.
Okay.
13 seats or the House of Soul. But those are sort of on the Jules Ward meets Glint Top Ward section, which is sort of on the other side of the Whitewater Square, other side of the city a little bit from where you guys are at.
Can I go through her pockets?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Ooh, good idea.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Very nice, very nice.
26.
She's got a purse with some coins in it. She's got a sort of hooked-looking dagger. Otherwise, has some general sailor's stuff. Got a flask with some kind of alcohol in it. She's got rope. She's got just a few other things. Some oil in an oil for a lamp. She's got what looks like a shade cloth like bandana, that can hang over the eyes a little bit more, which is pretty standard for a lot of sailors and things like that. But you also find a empty glass flask, or like a test tube vial. And inside, it seems, like I said, it's empty, but it does have what looks like similar pinkish residue on the inside of it.
Grandpa, can I touch the stone to the vial and see if I can get some of that residue?
By all means, and I'll hold it up.
Okay. Well, I don't want to dissolve the stone. I'll try touching the Lorebright stone, like to the mouth of the vial, to see if I can get some residue on it.
In this particular case, I'd say there's not enough to be significantly telling. It's like the barest, it's like discoloration more than it is like significant residue.
Do you think the vomit would hurt the little bright stone?
I'm gonna try touching it to her and see what happens.
It seems to sort of flicker dimly for a second, but doesn't seem to give like a telling registration either.
Okay.
She has money in here, but she's so emaciated. She had the means to feed herself.
Maybe it wasn't a lack of food that made her emaciated. I could like to open the flask of alcohol and sort of pour it out. Is it just normal alcohol?
Mm-hmm. Seems like it. Some kind of whiskey.
She'll take a sip of it. Nope.
I kind of sloshed you already.
Yeah.
I feel like we shouldn't leave her here. We've already left somebody in an alley today.
Well, they were already dead.
You would know, at least, that this is the Werewarrens. There's plenty of people in alleys who are, passed out.
Right.
If
people get mugged, even killed in this part of the city.
Right.
I feel... So, I mean, if she was just drunk, I'd feel fine leaving her here, but I don't... Is she just dying?
Yeah.
She still appears to be breathing.
Yeah.
I don't know what we could do for her other than take her to a temple, and she might not want that.
Yeah. Do we want to take her money?
Give you a look of disapproval.
You went from, I don't want to leave her here, I'm worried about her well-being, to, let's take her money.
You don't take from those who have less than you.
Oh, that was not what some of the people in Brody's gang said.
Well, that's what I taught you.
Ah.
Very disapproving, dad face.
Anetka's giving the, most vacant teenage stare back.
And while you guys are talking, Renasus is just gonna pick her up and just fire a man over the shoulder.
Okay, got it.
Solves that.
Yeah.
So while we're doing that, can I have been looking out for people looking in the alley, looking at us specifically?
Sure, make a perception check with disadvantage. In sunlight. Tough on your southern.
I'll hand a flask, a vial to Naneka and be like, could you
she'll cast Mage Hand and grab some of the vomit.
Okay. The vomit's like eating through the flask.
She'll set it.
It's like the glass is like melting and dissolving.
How does she still have organs?
Does she? Also, 22.
22?
With disadvantage.
That's impressive. It doesn't seem like anyone's particularly watching this alley or like, what's going on in there or anything like that. Tons of passersby. You see like what looks like some kind of disagreement escalating to a fist fight near one dock. You see, individuals passing back and forward, crates, lines of like assembly line or worker lines shifting crates and other stuff, supplies going in and out. This is a place of regular activity in the city with, business and shipping and stuff like that. So you're seeing all sorts, but not anything that's particularly seems to be fixated and targeted on you.
Okay.
Anetka's gonna use Mage Hand to open her mouth and just kind of look in, like, does she still have teeth? Like, what has this just been dissolving?
The teeth are pink and black.
Oh.
That's disgusting.
And it looks like her tongue looks like it's got like holes bitten out of it, or not bitten out of it, but like dissolved out of it. So looking rough, for sure. But
I mean, we also have to keep in mind the more time we spend trying to take care of her, which I think we should do, the less time we have for the Cackler and Flo.
So he mentioned going to Revelry Row, or because we're the other. Sorry.
the Quench Bench, is that what you're talking about?
Quench.
Yeah. That's on the Revelry Row on the southern end of the Guildwater stalls. It's not marked specifically on the on the map, but
Right, but the temples we would take her to are a bit farther to the other side of the city, right?
yeah, that's correct. Those are marked on the map, 13 seats and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. I gotta get the color version of this here. Let me see. So here on this these are sort of where the
temples are.
here on this upper section.
Where are we exactly?
You guys are like way on this side here.
Okay. Well, we could potentially take her to a temple, go to the Prismere, see what information we can get, and then go down to the Quench Bench.
Sounds like a good plan. I mean, do we know would? I mean, it's a brothel essentially. Would a brothel such bar?
It's until we think we can come back and deal with the Dockmaster. That might be our best bet, unless we want to try the Dockmaster now.
I mean, I have 20 gold.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I think we're too poor for that.
I think we're too poor for that too. So take her to a temple.
Put her on the roof. Got it.
Temple to Soul.
Go get information, get you registered, and then head towards the Quench Bench. Yes?
Yes, that
Alright.
sounds good.
Alright, so I think that's the plan. We're gonna
Yeah,
head
and-
towards a temple. The not picky, the first one we see, basically.
Okay, so those are sort of the major ones. There's smaller little shrines here and there. So we'll say that you're able to find a shrine to Sol here in the Guildwater stalls. It's very run down, kind of rougher looking all the way around. But the individual there who's got the sort of golden yellow robes with a white emblem of the sun on it does come forward and it's an elderly looking man sort of saying like, "Oh, did you find I see that you've got a troubled looking friend there. How may I help you?"
We found her in an alley near the docks. We thought she was drunk, but her vomit started dissolving the stones. I don't think that's normal.
No, indeed not. This seems most irregular. I'm Malone, by the way, but you can call me Milne. Well, that is most irregular. I am not pretending to be an expert in such things or in masterful healing arts, but such things these days are hard to come by. Our church is rather underfunded. Anyway, you didn't come for a whole sermon. I'm happy to take care of her. It is good of you that you did this. May the light of soul shine on each of you for your kind deed.
Thank you.
Malone, have you heard of any sort of This is unheard of to me.
I have not, I have to say, but this is not the first individual with at least this discoloration of the teeth that I have treated. They seem to be rather desperate for some sort of craving. I'm not sure exactly what. They are generally incoherent, often violent even. And this is the first of this vomiting that you have described, but yes, a few have come to attempt treatment. I'm sorry to say that I cannot do more for them.
So the prognosis is for these individuals with bad teeth?
Well, I applied what healing salves and lotions I could, but often they simply... I've taken to restraining a few of them, but often they simply escaped, even chewing through their bonds to get out.
Interesting.
It is kind of you to bring her here. I will do my best for what I can for her. I have switched to using leather and chain rather than cloth restraints, and hopefully that will help with preventing such an egress, but we will do what we can.
Is there like an offering plate or something in the shrine?
Yeah, there's a donation box.
I'll put in a gold.
Oh, that's very kind. It's been a long time since we've gotten a generous donation such as this. Thank you.
I'll kind of like look at everyone else like...
Anetka will put in a... Yes, go for the sun god. We're wonderful.
Oh, that's just splendid. Thank you so much.
Kind of like staring at you two as well, like expectantly.
Pronouncus was oblivious and then, oh, and he'll put a gold in also.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
No, I was just staring at Slate.
Sorry, mate. Cassiel's kind of got my gold.
Oh, Cassio, lovely fellow. Good singing voice. He's a nice lad. He came from high places and still managed just to help the lowest on the rung, as it were. But in any case, yes, if you're helping him out, then please, the donations are voluntary. This is not the 13. Oh, well, I shouldn't say anything.
Oh!
I'll kind of like look at the... Okay, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Malone.
Milne, please.
Milne. Hopefully, something can be done. We just didn't want to leave her in her own acidic vomit.
Yes, I would not want to be there myself either.
All right, then. Onward.
Oh, to the Prismere.
To the Prismere.
Okay.
Prismere.
So you're still sort of in the dock. This was in the Guildwater stalls.
Okay.
You're sort of exiting the small, basically like shanty shrine that this was. You can tell that the building once was like a stone structure, but it looks like it's been like sort of cannibalized, like the stone has been pulled apart, maybe taken away. Some of the brick and mortar and stuff is loose, and it's sort of been planked up and boarded up. So you leave this not so well-kept shrine and head toward the Whitewater Square, which by contrast, has its beautiful, pristine white waters and the guarded stone bridges that lead to the central network of the city. You see Kronoso, the clock tower there, with its 87 lesser globes for the turnings, the 2 globes for the shard, and the 430 globes for the year. You see that along with the Rainbow Complex, the various colored candles there on the northern end where you got your Lorebright stone in the first place, and of course High Soul Seat, the Glimmering Castle, as well as the Mist Gardens to the south section of the square. It's all like wonderfully open and laid out compared to the claustrophobic and overwhelmingly crowded space that the Werewarrens kind of had. Also, all of you go ahead and make a survival check, please.
Oh, no.
I'll say Tennille gets advantage because in the last session I know you kept your hand on your purse, and we'll say that sort of applies here as well.
Well, that's still not great. That's a 12.
Okay. 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Renostis?
17.
17? Okay.
20 total.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you guys managed to, at one point, when someone comes up to Slate, kind of jostles you, and you just sort of like reactively, like without even looking, you just slap the hand away from the purse, and you see like a boy just like and bolts off as he realizes the situation. But yeah, seems like you're able to make it out of the busy space without losing any coin, with aside from what you put down for your lovely grog soup.
Group.
So you see the masked and robed guards that patrol the Whitewater Square and guard the bridges there. Standing on the other side of the bridge is a pair of them. They're wearing sort of cloaks that look like they're made of shifting metal, or robes that are made of shifting metal, and they've got golden masks.
What's that look for?
You're on the far side of the bridge at the moment. Did you
Okay.
want to cross over and
How drunk are Annette
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Tennille still?
make another Constitution saving throw?
Oh boy.
Wait.
Can't say.
Oh, I did.
Save. Oh, yeah.
19.
Okay.
17.
You guys are feeling sobered up, more or less. The vomiting helped to relieve some of it out of your body, and maybe you've drank quite a bit of water to help flush the system a little bit, and maybe snacked on a ration or something to help ease out some of that. But you're feeling like your wits are coming more about you.
I feel like my wits are coming more about me.
You only have the occasional slurred S sound.
You're looking a little less green. I mean, you're always green, but it's a healthier green.
Inside check.
All right.
I'm just gonna keep walking, ignore all of that.
Charisma of 6, man.
Okay, so you're heading over to you head across the bridge, and both the masked figures just simply, as you get like halfway, they just simply put out their hand. They don't say anything, but you hear sort of like a metallic ringing sound, and it sounds like communication.
It sounds.
It has the rhythm of like a spoken word, and you get the sense that they're like speaking to each other.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like pull out the stone and like hold it up.
I need to register with the Prismir.
One of the individuals sort of pauses, and you hear like a metal ring and like a very faint, like almost bell-like tone from the other person, and the person sort of shakes themselves for a second in the sort of rustling of the metal robe that they're wearing. Do you have a name that you can state for the record?
Anetka Shelta.
And you just hear like a rustling again. Noted. You may pass.
Can my friends come with me?
State their names.
Tennille Kilnara?
Slate.
Renostis.
And again, sort of that same rustling metal sound. Very well. Your identities have been recorded. Enter in peace and depart in peace.
Okay.
And they sort of lower their hands, but you get the sense that you're like still being watched, even though they're facing forward as you like watch past them. Like they're clearly alert.
They're always so creepy.
This is where you went to
Is
school.
this like a new feature, or like have we ever heard of this?
You would know that they exist. They've been here. They seem to be more numerous. Previously, it seems so. What is different here is these usually were the individuals who simply guarded and patrolled the High Soul seat itself. They're known as the Guild Masks, or the Whisper Robes. A couple other derogatory names for them, based on their behavior and stuff of late, but they seem to have replaced the standard Souls Guard who usually guarded these bridges. When you guys came here at the first time, which was during registration for the Lorebright program, that was like a time where the restrictions were a little bit more lax, but generally you can't just walk up to the Whitewater Square unless you are someone of like a of prominence. But what is unusual is that these individuals have seemed to be replacing the standard Souls Guard defending on the gates.
Thought the Souls Guard were a bit much, but...
So, otherwise, once you've crossed you see, and you're heading towards the Rainbow Complex, presumably, you see the standard, you see the lovely brick kind of layout, the golden brick layout of the floor there, and sort of a nice campus-esque look to it, and all of the various towers with the varying colors of roofs of the colors of the rainbow, and their adjoining sort of smaller building that juts out, halls made of marble, things like that, sort of rainbow-colored steps amidst the gold, and you see various prisms, of varying braid lengths and colors, indicating rank, moving back and forth between several of the campus buildings. So you guys head over there. You would know the red is the Office of Arcane Regulation. So is that where you're heading first, or did you want to go to the Lorebright area?
Did we want to...
Which was green.
Lorebright would be green. Office of Arcane Regulation is over there. That's where I used to study all throughout the day. I think there's a coffee shop somewhere around here. Just giving the old campus tour.
It's like showing your parents around.
Yeah, yes. Yes, this was all very expensive.
Sorry to interrupt it, but do we want to maybe get you registered first, so when we register at the guilds, you're actually legal?
Yeah, I mean, I am, I do have 3 days. I'm not doing anything illegal but, I mean, yes, we can go make it all official. Sell my soul to the prisoner, and...
Let's go do that.
Yes. She'll go, sell her soul to the prisoner.
Okay. So you go to the Office of Arcane Regulation, the low and red-roofed building adjacent to the Red Candle Tower of the Rainbow Complex. It casts sort of an austere, ruddy ruby shadow as the sun strikes it as its consistent angle. Inside, as you push open the ruby doors, the building is set with 4 rows of 10 chairs arranged in a sort of waiting area. They all face 4 arcanely warded and glyphed windowed desks, each with a ruby-robed red braid sat behind them. A few doors are set on sort of the side and back wall of the building with red-dyed brass handles and a pair of crimson-robed individuals beside each of them. Unlike the desk individuals, these characters wear strange colorless masks with 7 cascading ridges carved into them that each seem to sort of glimmer and glisten with color. These are sort of the Prismer's in-house security, you would know. As you pass through the door, one of the masked individuals asks in a weirdly modulated voice, "Name and business?"
Anetka Shelter, here to register with my arcane magic use with the prisoner.
Very well. And you hear sort of like a... And in their 2 fingers appears a piece of paper, and he sort of hands it to you. You are ticket number 19. Please have a seat while you wait for you to be called. And it is like a DMV situation. So you have a seat, presumably. You see a few other people waiting, but seems like it's still not very busy, but still seems to take a long time for your number to be called, kind of situation.
Should we go to the Lorebright office while you wait?
Sure, if you want to do this. I have my knitting, I'll be fine here.
I mean, unless you really want to go with us, but just in the sake of time, since we are trying to find our acquaintances, friends? Yes, those people.
They're friends,
They're friends.
Tennille. We've made friends. It's okay to say it.
He's still not sure, but okay, friends.
Okay, so you guys are exiting and going to the Lorebright.
If that's okay with the other 3, I think that might be a wiser choice of our
definitely.
time.
Bosses wouldn't.
Rassus doesn't like lines.
Okay, so you're heading over that way. We'll we'll pick up with Anetka in just a second. So you guys are heading over that way towards the emerald colored building. And I need to flip to that section to make sure I have everything here. Yep, we got that. Okay, so you get to the Green Tower and Roofed Hall in the Rainbow Complex. It's clearly the one that sees the most activity compared to all the others, because not only are there prisms coming and going, green braids, or the occasional full colored braided individual, a few adventuring groups and other mercenary-looking types are coming and going alongside the normal network of green braid prisms. So other individuals you surmise who are turning in or signing up for the Lorebright program belatedly. There's a beautiful green-tinted series of marble stairs that lead up to a marvelous hall that adjoins the tower. It's tiled in a glossy mosaic of rainbow colors that stream multicolored light as the sun's light from the outside refracts through. And this seems to only have like a greenish curtain as its door, as far as you can tell. And the curtains are like parted and held back with golden tasseled rope that's holding it open. So you guys go through, and the hall sort of directs primarily to an ornate and masterfully carved desk at the end of a semicircular area. It has sort of adjacent hallways branching away like spokes on a wheel. These small halls seem to immediately end with white doors with green glyphs on them, and they're shut. Behind the desk is seated a familiar-looking half-elf in emerald robes. This is Vulamaith Osoko, the man who originally gave you the Lorebright stone as you were signing up in line. A spiral staircase leads up and away behind this seated individual, but he's got the same sort of placid look, round spectacles, kind of a longish nose, and he's sort of writing various pieces of paper and some writing various notes in a ledger. Excuse me. So
I'll walk up. Hello. Very awkwardly.
he kind of looks up. Greetings. It's nice to see another returning Lorebright party, I imagine.
Yes, we were hoping to see what we could get for the information we gathered from Bright Meadow.
I see. Well, first you'll need to officially, I see, may I see your stone?
I'll pass it over.
Kind of whispers an incantation. It seems to like pulse, and then he hands it back. According to our records, you have not yet officially registered as a party name under the Lorebright program. You will need to do this before you are allowed to attain any rewards from your reasonably well-filled Lorebright stone.
Yes. So out of character, what are we going with?
Are we the bewildered and we leave the and bloody off for official business?
We're good?
Yep.
I don't think Brandon's convinced.
We're running with it.
Okay, sorry, Nate and Sarah. We are the bewildered, like the insect.
Ah, I see. I'm sure there's a story there, but none of my business. And all of its members are present?
No, one of our members is in the Ruby office, the magical regulation office.
Oh, yes, the Office of Arcane Regulation.
She's registering.
Okay, very good, very good.
Two of our members were kidnapped.
Ah, well, do you have their names in a form or brief description for their identification purposes?
The Cackler, as he is known, Kenku, he's got black feathers, about, I'll hold up a hand like this tall, likes to say bingo a lot.
Yes, likes to say bingo a lot. Got it, okay. And the other?
Flo, Water Genasi, very chipper and cheerful, blue skin, blue hair.
Yes, all right. And your third member, the registering individual?
Anika Shelta is half-orc, wizard.
Yes, this one is known to us. Yes, understood. Okay. Very well. You are the bewildered. And he casts another sort of gesturing spell gesture and incantation, and you see sort of inscribed in golden script around the crown part of the Lorebright stone is
The bewildered.
The bewildered.
They're like, oh look, and I'll show it to you, Renastus and Slay. Like, isn't that neat?
Wow.
Well, it is 1 gold to register to rent a lore sharing room. Generally, at your current classification, I should say.
A lore sharing room?
Yes, this would be where you would be able to spend and acquire new information using your Lorebright stone.
I'll hand over her gold.
Very well.
I am very quickly my broker.
Thank you very much. And he kind of whisks it away, and you see, like, it doesn't look like he touched it, it just, like, vanishes as he passes his hand over it. Very well. I believe we've got you in room 3C. And he kind of stands and gestures to one of the, shall I give you a basic tour, as it were?
Yes, please.
Very well, very well. He snaps his fingers, and he just sort of, like an illusory version of him that's sort of green and sparkly, says, "Yes, I will do as you ask. Right this way." And he kind of shuffles along, and he produces a key, and opens one of the white marbled, green inscribed rooms. And you see a circular room with a hugely vaulted ceiling. The room has a plain desk with writing implements and parchment, a few chairs at its center, and a thin emerald crystalline pedestal, almost like just a rod, with a bold top coming in the center of the room. 20 feet above the pedestal is a vast sphere the size of a small house that looks like an especially large Lorebright stone of emerald and gold that is inlaid with what looks like violet metals, like violet-colored metals that are circling around it in a sort of spiral basket shape, and a frame that sort of suspends and coils about it, and then the coils extend downward like streamers that sort of point or jut toward, almost like in Frankenstein's madhouse scientist thing, like the coils that are pointing towards where he zaps the monster, but pointing towards the pedestal where you would place the Lorebright stone. And I need to pull up some notes really fast. He says, "Yes, well, simply place your Lorebright stone, and the amount of information you have attained will be read and absorbed into our lore sharing network. In addition, it will be given a point value, which you can then cash in for either information or, of course, gold. If you accept either, you will be charged, and the Lorebright will be removed. The points will be removed from your party's account." Any questions?
What pool of information are we able to access?
At this current time, it depends largely on the amount of Lorebright that you have yet attained. Our records show that this is your first visit. Once you have attained a certain number of Lorebright's points, you will be able to be upgraded, waiving certain fees and getting better exchange rates for gold and information. This is again true once you've attained an even higher level of contribution to our program.
But is the information contributed by other Lorebright stones, or are we accessing information of the Prismere, or where is the
It is a combined
database?
It is a combined bit of both. This is a open-sourced contribution from all various lore-sharing parties, as well as our considerable previous purpose of the lore-sharing division before we got tangled in this, or got involved in our newest development, the Lorebright Stone. We ourselves sent out delvers who attained great research, information that is kept in the libraries, information that is kept in spells, information on various government agencies and other affiliates and organizations. Everything, in short, that we have been able to collect thus far that you can pay for.
So, I mean, obviously, we can't see the information until we pay for it, but could we, say if we were searching for a specific thing, see that that thing is available before we commit to buying that bit of information?
Yes, you will not be charged unless you actually purchase the information. You may ask, and depending on the level by which you are demanding, then you will be able to, and the amount that you're offering, it will depend on how much knowledge you get. Information is generally classified into 4 tiers. Common knowledge, which is generally worth very little. Uncommon knowledge, categorized by things that are not readily known by people across the land. deeper knowledge, categorized by things found via scrutiny and thorough investigations, such as the ones that we did here, as well as epic mysteries, categorized by information that can heavily unravel grand questions of our world. From pieces of arcane research to the names of powerful creatures and their abilities. That we have attained so far, I should mention. Good day to you. And he kind of snaps his fingers and whoosh, just disappears, because kind of like a projection situation.
Okay. Well, go ahead and put the stone in the little... I imagine it's like an egg cup.
It is kind of like an egg cup, actually. That's a good way of describing it. So you place it there, and you just sort of pulses, and then like a wisping flood of upward coming energy and wind with little particulates of green flying up into the larger stone above, and then it which also pulses as the threads of gossamer kind of get extracted from the inside of your Lorebright stone and shine in this greater orb up above, and then you just sort of hear like an announcer's voice, not dissimilar to the crier stones, saying, according to our readout, the Bewildered group has attained 86 points of Lorebright.
Is that a good score?
I have no idea. He did say it was pretty full.
Maybe we can interact with this. Excuse me, voice.
What is the nature of your inquiry? Would you like to spend your Lorebright points?
I would like to know the average and standard deviation of Lorebright's contributions.
Very well. That information would be worth 20 Lorebright.
No.
Would you like to pay that fee?
Never mind, voice. Never mind.
Our records show that you're 86% of the way to our first affiliate rank.
Not a
Now
pyramid
just like
scheme.
raise his eyebrows and look around. They have an affiliate program.
I just really gonna finish it chewing. Kind of like very weirdly, like looking around, like I don't know where this voice is coming from, but what about information on Folian the Fox?
Oh, hang on one sec. I need to do something really quickly. Yeah, okay. There's that. Right, heals that. Yeah, okay. Also, one thing the voice would have said before is, currently, the monetary value of your Lorebright is appraised at, do some quick calculations, because it changed from when I did my calculations before, at 258 gold pieces worth of information. And then, after you asked about, the voice would say, would you like to cash out this information or a portion of it?
Let's get the information first. See what we have left over.
Not yet.
Okay, so you're asking, very well, and then you ask, sorry, I did that a little out of order, but you ask about Foley and the Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, on what grounds would you like to know about this individual? There's a fair bit that our records show a small pool of information that can be shared at varying levels. What level would you like to know?
Common, uncommon, deep, and...
Yeah. You can also just ask like general questions, like we'd like more, like, you don't have to say, I'd like the uncommon level, because that's not everything falls neatly into a perfect category.
Right.
So if you ask, I'll have it tell you what, kind of thing that would cost.
Where is their home basis of operation? Where is their home office?
That information is worth 10 Lorebright. Would you like to make a purchase?
I think.
Could be good to have.
Yes, please.
Seems reasonable.
Very well. 10 Lorebright has been deducted from your total point value account. And after a brief pause, you get saying, the individual known as Foley and the Fox is said to own numerous properties in the Werewarrens in the Guildwater stalls of the shining city of Solni. This individual has recently purchased multiple properties that came available, as well as having a larger operation and manor that is having a larger manor that is based in the Jewels Ward.
Didn't know that. Okay.
The manor is located not far from the Masked Palace. The manor is known as the manor is known as the Quipper Mansion.
It's a
Quipper.
theme.
Quipper Mansion, yes.
Quipper Mansion. Okay.
And Quippers, again, are the sort of saltwater piranha type fish
Right.
that are part of his...
Which makes sense given his signs.
Further information is available for higher Lorebright value. Would you like to make a higher level purchase?
What do you guys think?
How much is the higher level purchase?
An additional 30 Lorebright.
What about information on Cove's Key?
Sorry, I'm just making little notes. Okay, the information on the Cove's Key is myriad. What level would you like to make on a purchase?
Information about their presence within Solni.
That information is worth 10 Lorebright for surface level and 30 Lorebright for higher level. What level would you like to make a purchase?
What level do we want? Surface or do we want deeper?
Maybe we should just go for the deeper on this one.
We'll take the deeper.
Very well. Pling! 30 Lorebright has been subtracted from your account's value. The organization known as the Cove's Key is based largely out of the Night Cove region and the shaded in the shaded region of Shadvir. This criminal enterprise has been known to be a forceful and malicious active force within and without the shaded reach, the city of Shadvir, and Sanctus as a whole. Shadvir is known for its rigid laws and restrictive regulations on its people. The Cove's Key organization rose to prominence by offering alternatives that the law prohibited, such as alcohol and courtesans and whorehouses. They are known to be violent, vicious scumbags. As for its detection and presence in the city of Solni, there has been little reach in the Shining City and its ability to repel such gloomy assailants. However, there has been noted activity and a sighting of a... and a sighting of a Crovier individual. This sighting was brief and quickly expunged from the city, supposedly in the saltwater canals. Since that time, there has been no known activity of the Cove's Key within the shining city of Solni.
That's all it has.
That's all it says.
Well, that was nothing that we didn't already know, I think. What do we think? Do we want to pay for more information or just cash out our remaining 46 points?
1 second, hang on. I might have one more piece of information for you guys here.
Okay.
Regarding the Cove's Key. Let me pull up another. Sorry, I'm not on my laptop because that's where Kat is, so I'm needing to...
How dare you, Nicholas? How dare you?
She inside the computer?
Looks like it, yeah.
So, let's see here. What
Still in here now.
Let me turn to Sneaky Sneak.
Sneaky. Do we have enough information? Like, is that...
I think the information about Foley and the Fox is actually really helpful because we can go to his... Well, Nick is not there, so she's not hearing any of this.
No.
But we can go to his manor if he lives in the same... Makes it a little bit easier to kind of scope him out. If he lives near my uncle, maybe we could actually play the respectable party.
That's a good one.
Go visit.
Alright.
But sorry.
Sorry, it took me a second to find that information. The supposed leader of the organization, known as the Cove's Key, is Virtuous Edwin Vintlock, a misnomer for a bloody-handed criminal.
Things opinionated.
It's very opinionated.
Propaganda.
What was his name again?
Edwin, aka Virtuous Vintlock.
It's what? That's only. Okay.
No, Eddie VT.
Right.
Inner circle.
Information about Edwin Vintlock is available if you would like to spend further Lorebright about this individual.
I don't know if that's helpful. I don't think it was Vint that we encountered underneath the canals. How much, what is the remaining gold worth of our remaining points?
Your remaining value is appraised at 138 gold pieces.
What do we think?
Would you like to cash
Maybe
out your
we can
available...
Get some information about the vulture, or see if it has any.
Sure. We are looking for information on the Caravan Breaker, also known as the Vulture, also known as Arcturius.
Information about this individual is available. What would you like to know specifically?
What do you want to know, Ren?
Brandon, do you want to pass me the map, please? Just
well,
stop,
I
just
really
stop.
thought that the 10 gold or 10 Lorebright point tier duration was helpful on Fulian. So perhaps where this individual is located.
Yes, where is this individual located?
That information is not conclusive. There are many possible answers. Would you like to make a purchase?
It's totally a mobile app. Just
Yeah. Microtransactions.
Yeah, microtransactions
This
for
this
sure.
information would be valued at 10 Lorebright points.
I feel like 10 is worth it. What do you think? I don't want to make decisions for everybody.
What do you think, Slate?
I think knowledge is more valuable than gold, frankly.
Alright, 10 gold.
I would agree.
10 points. Let's do 10 points then.
Very well. The individual known as Arcturius, the Lord of Vultures and the Caravan Breaker, is a bloody-handed assailant and bandit who has been raiding Sanctus for the last several years. This individual was known to be based out of Featherton, near the Sancturian Barrier and Illuma Desert. Recently, it seems that their activity has moved towards the region of the Shining Valley during the Flicker events. Slightly before this time, attacks from the sky were known to be happening. This individual's tactics are favorable around ambush, using flying giant vultures as his allies to swoop down and attack his prey. The individual is known to brand individuals with a particular mark, his victims with a particular mark, to establish further fear of his organization and power. To our knowledge, this is an attempt to make him seem more broad in his bloody-handed acts than he truly is, and establish a reputation of fear, such as those used by the pirates. The individual is known to use a variety of nature magic and wield a particular bloody-handed javelin, as specialist is in throwing weapons, and including this magical weapon. More information is available on this weapon if you would like to make a purchase.
Oh, we are very familiar with that weapon.
The individual's current whereabouts are unknown.
Slate, is there anything you want to know about?
I mean, everything, but not... I mean, primary goal is, getting Flo and the Cackler back.
I wonder if it has information on the Cackler.
Or even Flo.
I mean...
we are the people stalking our
we
friends.
are the stalkers.
Magical stalking.
Do you have information on a Kenku known as the Cackler?
Information is known about this individual. Would you like to make a purchase? What information would you like to know?
Oh God, what do we want to know about him?
Maybe their social ties that could have led him to be in this situation.
Do we really want to spend our Lorebright on stalking our friends? It's kind of funny, but maybe we
I
should.
mean,
Information such as that would be appraised at 10 to 30 Lorebright value. Can you make a more specific request?
let's forget the Cackler. Let's not talk about him.
Very well. We shall forget that bloody-headed criminal.
Oh!
I mean, is that really a surprise?
No, I already knew that about him. Gonna pull out the letter for a second. Let's see.
Mr. Lorebright, can you solve riddles?
Our capacity is not known to be used to create answers to riddles. However, if the answer has already been obtained by another contributor towards the Lorebright program, you may access that information at varying prices depending on the complexity and the ability and frequency with which that information is available.
How about an individual named Kane? Cane.
Information on that individual is limited. There is available information, but it will come at a higher price of 30 Lorebright.
Oh, we had a Lorebright. What are we at? 46? 36?
We've spent 40.
I have it that you guys have spent 40 points.
Yeah.
So you have 46 remaining.
No, we spent 50.
Oh, we spent another 10.
Yeah, because we spent 10 on
you spent 10 on the Kovsky, and 10 on Arcturus.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I didn't get. Where's my pencil?
So,
Maybe we get a 20% back discount.
I don't know if it works that way, Grandpa.
Ren, what are you on about?
I mean, we know that it sounds to me from reading the letter that it may be mentioning some things that we have been involved in, notably patches, as well as feather and fur. I feel like the feather and fur comments might refer to what happened to at least one of our friends. So if we are following up on the fox, then some of this information might come to us on its own. But it might also be worth buying something about this person. Keep in mind, we won't be bribing any dock masters.
I mean, best case scenario, we find what we need through the fox, get our friends back, and move on with life, but do we want to spend all of our Lorebright immediately? And or cash it out? Or do we want to save it in case it's like, okay, we know what we need to know now, let's spend Lorebright. Or we get more Lorebright. I know it's not like it's finite.
I think we should see where this information we have now gets us, and we can always come back and get more if we feel stuck.
I think that's fair. So we have 36 points left.
Mm-hmm.
We will not cash out. We would just like to keep a balance, and I think that will be enough, Mr. Lorebright, stone person.
Dr. Lorebright.
Dr. Lorebright.
Very well. We have it that 36 Lorebright points are available still to your account. Farewell. Session terminated. And you see
Wave awkwardly at the ceiling.
you see the Lorebright stone sort of flow back into your hands, like it flows toward you and you catch it, presumably. And the like the pedestal egg cup that it was on, egg cup holder it was on, has like faded to just normal. Like it was bright, shining like ambient light, but now it's just sort of like made of the emerald crystal.
Cool. So should we go see if...
And the door behind you, opens.
Well, I'm proud of us for not looking up ourselves.
Oh.
Shoot, I shut up on
I mean, I guess we're maybe like doing a walk and talk here, but like what is your story anyway?
Are you guys leaving? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably gonna go pick up the Netcat
Yeah.
from daycare. I wish I knew. That's kind of why I want to know.
Like you have the thing, like the thing on your neck, the glowy thing.
The tattoos?
I was like, do you know that you have them?
Have you not seen the back of your neck?
You know what? Now that you mention it, no.
You mean you can't see the back of your neck? Everyone can see the back of their neck.
Well, there's mirrors.
How?
Silly people.
What's a mirror?
I'm not surprised that you don't know what that is.
I feel like
Get him with a zinger there,
I
Cat.
feel like you threw some shade at me, but I don't know what that means.
Jeez, is there a bird word in
So
Solni?
you don't remember getting them?
What?
You would remember the dream experience that you had.
Oh, the tattoos. I just kind of figured they were there. I just forgot about them. I don't know. I had a wild dream. It was crazy. It hurt a lot, but oh well. It's just a dream.
Narcissus is just raising an eyebrow at him, and the way that old men can do. Can't do it because I'm not an old man.
Pretty close. I like it. All right. Well, as you guys are moving to pick up at the office, pick up a Netcat at the Office of Arcane Regulation, let's pick up with a Netcat at the Office of Regulation. After a long bit of waiting, eventually a female tabaxi with like sand-colored fur says, "Ticket now serving. Ticket number 19."
And she puts her knitting back in her bag. She like drops the armful out, like I'm coming. And she'll walk up, sort of in a scramble, towards the tabaxi. Just like
Yes. Hi. You are here to register. We have it shown that you are within deadline, so good job for you there. Would you like to register officially as a Prismere member, licensed caster?
Sure.
A license costs 10 gold to register.
Everything's gold with you people, and she'll hand him 10 gold. Or her 10 gold.
Thank you. 1 minute as we process your application. She
She
turns around and goes into a back office for a second, like behind it, like a door behind. And then you wait
She'll take out her knitting
and
again.
wait and wait. And the
Spend
individual
enough on college. I have to spend it. You could register. No, I have to that. And she's murmuring to herself.
Yep. And the individual comes back. And she says, "Anetka, Shelta, you have been officially registered. Congratulations and welcome to the Prismere." She hands you a sort of arcing crystalline rainbow badge or that you can pin, and it's got all the different colors of the rainbow, including all the different colors, and they're like back set on a series of towers, like the 7 towers of the Prismere.
Huh. Do I need to wear the pin at all times, or?
You may pin it to your clothing, or you may show it when you are asked to do so when called upon by law-abiding individuals, law enforcement, and of course the various offices of the Prismere itself.
Right, and she'll just sort of clip it to the inside of her knitting bag.
Before she lets go of it, she says, "Bear in mind that you are still subject to all of Solni's laws, as well as the laws of our own."
I will bear that in mind.
Very well. Now serving ticket number 21.
And she'll pause as she goes out to get her knitting in the right order, because it got messed up when she got up. And she sort of huffs and heads towards the green tower.
Okay, so you exit, and the two groups kind of convene. And reconvening now, having your purses considerably thinned, your Lorebright spent to gain some additional information, we will go ahead and take a break. So we'll be right back. Those of you watching at home, don't go away. We'll be back in a few minutes and pick up from there. Okay, and we're back with Dragon Poet Society, our Lumoria campaign. We are just picking up from the party visiting the Rainbow Complex and the offices of the Lore Sharing Division for the Lorebright program, and using their Lorebright value from their stone to research various topics from the Cove's Key to this Foley and the Fox character, as well as Arcturius, Lord of Vultures, to get some more information about maybe what has happened to Flo and the Cackler. Meanwhile, Anetka officially registered at the the Office of Arcane Regulation, and is now an official sanctioned member of the Prismere as far as casting goes. So, having done that, the party reconvenes in the sort of main brick campus area of the Rainbow Complex. What is everybody doing?
I made an entire scarf while I had to wait in line. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
She pulls it out. It's a colorwork scarf that says bureaucracy sucks.
Good times.
Maybe not show that to them.
But I think it'll be a hit with Brody.
I'm sure it would be.
And Bria.
So, is there like a quiet place we can go and kind of fill in a Nika in on what we learned?
Is there a quiet place you would know about?
On-campus space usually is mostly used and restricted for learning students or Prismere members. So you would have less access to like quiet study rooms and things like that here in the Rainbow Complex. You could go and walk about the Mist Gardens to the south, or you could leave the area and just do walk and talk, and kind of just get lost in the bustle of the day and the noise of the crowds and stuff like that. Otherwise, you can go find a place in the Library of Candles, which is sort of the general public massive library / temple to the Seeker, the sort of knowledge deity that is sort of tied in with a lot of the magic here.
Maybe we should do a walk and talk. Head towards the Quenchin Bench.
Yes.
The Quench Bench.
The Quench Bench,
Yeah.
sorry. I'd recommend, because listening ears everywhere, and I slightly have a listening ear with me now at all times, which is fantastic. We maybe start talking after we get out of the... Yeah, and she'll just sort of point out different features on campus. Oh, you don't want to know the fight I had to have with Mama to get them to pay for this. And then there was the first Parents' Day, and I'm surprised no one got an axe to the face. So there was that.
So, after you're sort of moving along, you do exit past another pair of these gold-masked and gold-robed individuals. Moving along, you head across the... and you're heading towards the Quench Bench. What route would you like to take? So you know it's on Revelry Row, so it'd be sort of either the south or eastern bridge that you'd probably exit the Whitewater Square from, unless you wanted... I know you had mentioned going past the Trades Tow Ward, again, where you found the body. If you wanted to do that, then you'd probably either take like the south, or you'd probably take the south.
Yeah, what do we think of that? Pronostus?
We should definitely go see the area. But also, I just wanted to point out the fact of that little young man that tried to swipe Slate's purse. I recommend we all keep a tight hand on our wallets.
Yes.
But we should definitely go to Tradestow.
Especially if sometimes, like, people who are stealing stuff, they'll try to distract you in front so you don't see in back, or little children.
I don't want to know why you know that.
I got caught once, but I mostly never got caught.
When did you get caught?
By Bria and Nadia. Yeah, I tried to steal from them, and
Oh.
it ended well.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, that could have ended a lot worse. You could have gotten an axe to the face.
Luckily, Bria is softer towards children than she is towards, well, mostly everyone, except me and Nadia.
I'm like tie my meager coin pouch like around my neck.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Because
Yeah,
let's
mine's
see
kind of
what
like-
Yeah, now it's pretty high up for those, those vertically inclined, vertically challenged individuals to reach.
Secured like down the front of my armor.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean,
So you guys take a second to secure
Yeah.
your purses. That's fine.
Yeah, and it goes down sort of the front of her mage armor.
Okay, so moving along, you guys head out the over the bridges and head to the Tradestow ward, where again, huge swell of bustle and movement and motion, people hawking their goods and shouting, buy my fruit, and oh, come to the little house of lard, and oh, this and that and the other thing, advertising and talking and haggling over pieces and prices, and you're sort of heading in the direction of Revelry Row, but stopping by the various eventually it takes you a second, but you guys do find the alleyway that you kind of retrace your steps and find the alleyway where you found the corpse, and stuff like that, or at least you come to that region and you're like, hey, I think we're in that right region. So you're in that general space.
Okay.
And you can see where the alleyway is. I'm giving you a moment if you wanted to do something other than go into the alleyway first. I don't know what you had in mind.
I guess my idea was to kind of see if there were any, as we're kind of traveling through, keep an eye out for any fabric stores, since that was in the note.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Can I be looking for bookstores?
Sure, make an investigation check as well.
Annetka's always looking for crafting stores, just generally at all times.
Okay. You can. We'll have you roll as well.
Yeah, because I rolled a 4.
Investigation? That is a 21.
Okay, we'll get to you in a second. Slate, what'd you get?
Last one. Or you said investigation, right?
Yep.
Last one.
Okay. Let me again have to do this manually with flipped pages rather than
Dark pages.
Command F. It's good. It's good for me. Mostly. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so you passed a bookstore in Tradestow, just south of by the entrance to the Whitewater Square, one of the first places that you come by, known as Brentland's Books. That would be more on the way toward the alley, rather than after you've reached that general vicinity. So you would have noted it ahead of time. Did you want to stop beforehand, or do you want to loop back afterward?
Loop back.
Okay. Renostus, did you want to search for anything either? Well,
yeah, I want to see if there's anybody that's patrolling, or anyone that seems to have some sort of observation on the alleyway to see if there's any guards or anyone that's keeping eyes on it.
Sure. I think that's more of a perception check, so go ahead and roll.
Okay. That is a 21. I'm having great rolls tonight.
Nice, very good. Yeah, in your case, and we'll get to you in a second, you do see that there is sort of an increased amount of patrolling and stuff like that. It does seem like that alleyway has been roped off, and you do see some Souls Guard there at that site. But otherwise, you're not seeing a huge series of mass arrests or anything very obvious or confrontational.
Gotcha. Okay.
What was your total roll?
21.
So, as mentioned, you did kind of pass a craft store in the Jewels Ward not far from the Kelnara family estate. As far as other kinds of stores, kind of looking similarly in fabrics and things like that, you see a few things. You do see the Eternal 32 clothing wear, and then a little bit more of a... let me flip past here to... one other thing. Let's see. There is, you pass another shop called Calisan's Curios, which looks like some kind of mixture of unusual, just kind of knickknacks and possibly magic stuff. You see Theophany's Tools and Trinkets. Again, sort of a general... actually, that would be in a different region. So that way you would have saw close to the Jewels Ward as well. You see... Let's see... there is one that I'm missing in my thing, but we'll just move on. A little disorganized and frantic. You see Selwyn Sandal and Shoe, which, as its name implies, is more around footwear. And then you come to one that strikes your fancy, which is Togas, Tunics, and Try-Ons.
GTT. How do we want to approach this? Because I think we should go in.
I think you should lead this one.
Okay. Just ask about maybe ordering some fine clothing for maybe to embroider on or something.
You are making something for your dear grandfather, your adopted grandfather here, and you are taking him in to embroider something, and he needs to look at things.
Yes.
Ren, you're the distraction.
You never told me Ren was your adopted grandfather.
Very nice. Good delivery.
No, Tiny, no.
I mean, he might be, I guess, later, but I don't think we're quite there yet.
No.
How do Bria and Nadia feel about this?
I mean, given how your parents were, I figured, same with grandparents, why not? Nice guy.
I mean, unless there's something Ren's not telling me, I don't think so.
Oh, sorry then.
No, he's a perfectly lovely man.
We'll just call him Grandpa Ren.
Grandpa Ren.
I'm so sorry, my internet's being wild. I missed what you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you missed him.
You became a grandpa. You're welcome.
You're considered now the adopted grandfather of Anetka, according to Slate.
I would rewatch that part when the stream goes up.
So the idea is that we're going to send Anika and Renostis into what was it? Toga's.
Those tunics and try-ons.
There we go.
That's correct.
TTT.
TTT, like on the note, and
Right.
she is trying to buy something for her dear grandpa. That is you.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to do our terrible twin facade. You want to be grandfather and granddaughter. Very well, we can do that.
Yes. We'll save the terrible twin facade when we're kicking butt.
Very well.
And what information am I trying to glean? That might be useful. I can get a great idea on what to embroider for my adopted grandfather, but I don't think that's helpful.
Yeah, good start. Good start.
Um,
I like this. Going in with a plan.
That's a bold
plans.
assumption.
When do we ever have plans? Oh gosh. Well, here I'll hand her the letter, and like you see what you think.
Okay.
You're the brains of this operation.
How full of gusto are we feeling? Because we could just say, hey, our mutual acquaintance gave me this, and then show them the letter. But that might make things move real quick, and not in a good way. Like maybe like countersigns kind of thing, like got no passwords.
Maybe we could say that our mutual friend wants you to know that the fabric order has been delayed.
I think maybe if we go for that, we should all be in the shop just in case that's the wrong thing. And
Also, what are you actually trying to get out of this?
I
We
don't.
found TTT, but
Information on the fox.
maybe I could talk about how I want to embroider foxes on my grandfather's clothing and need to make a big fabric order from it.
seems a little on the nose. We could throw in some quippers too. The foxy quipper.
The foxy quipper. I mean, we could go in guns, whatever a gun is, blazing and
Crossbows blazing.
crossbows. But I feel like I'd rather go crossbows blazing like down at the warehouses.
So, looking just from the outside, you can tell it seems like a neat, orderly shop. Through the glass window, you can see some mannequins displaying some very nice-looking various robes and togas and togas and tunics. You also see some shade cloth hats, things like that, and the sign advertises rentals for like formal wear as well.
Grandfather, you want to go in?
Shall we?
Yes.
You want us all to come in too?
Yeah, I think maybe if you want to go, let's act like we're not here together.
Okay. Then oh boy. Okay. So before, kind of like out of sight of the window, I'm going to tap Anika and give her guidance. You've got a minute. Go.
Okay. Come on, dear grandfather. Let us go in. We really need to fix that coat of yours. I'll see about making a fabric order.
And
That's a sore subject. We really do need to see about fixing this coat of mine.
Yes, that's why we're going in. And she'll open the door. Grandfather, hello?
Okay, so it has a little cling cling of a bell attached to a string kind of at the top there. Like I said, small but well-arranged store. The inside pans that out with lots more various hung wear from everything from adventuring clothes to fancy formal wear. You've got, it also looks like there's some pre-made stuff of like fancier varying sizes and shapes and things like that. You notice a pair of crossed swords are mounted on the wall under a broad shadecloth hat with a necktie like hung on the wall behind the counter. And behind the counter is an individual, a male dwarf, maybe in his early, what for humans would be his early 30s. He's got some muscularity in his shoulders and chest. And they're kind of plain but clearly well-maintained clothes in whites and yellows that really highlight his dark ebony skin nicely. He's got a coal black beard. And he kind of looks... Hello. What might I interest you in?
Hello. I was looking to maybe place a fabric order. My grandfather here, you see, I was hoping to maybe make a coat for him. It's all in tatters.
I understand. Well, I do tailored work. If we get your measurements, we should be able to manage something of that variety. But as for large-scale fabrics, I imagine that you'd be better off in a store along the Jewels Ward, something of that nature.
Okay, so looking for large, so we can't really do fabric orders at TTTs?
Kind of squints for a second. I'm not sure what you're meaning. I order fabric myself. I'm waiting on a shipment now. But I do not sell by the yard. I sell completed articles and apparel.
What about accessories for an old man, such as a cane?
Well, again, that is not really my specialty. I would be able to point you perhaps in the direction of something like that. Theophanes Trinkets is not a bad place to buy some various knickknacks. And he's kind of frowning and kind of sizing each of you up a little bit as you're saying this. You are, if I might say so, a rather dapper gentleman, though. If you would like something of a tie, I can provide that.
Do you have any with foxes on them?
I don't do patterns.
Oh, no.
The fabric should speak for itself.
Do you know where I'd go to get a fox embroidered on something?
Again, that might be something that you would find more along the lines in the Jewels Ward. Plenty of rich folk do something like that. Not really my style, but I don't begrudge competition. Is there something that you would like to say to me, dear? It seems that you are hiding something. Forgive me for saying it.
Actually, anyone like close enough to be hearing and or seeing this?
You're seeing the exchange. You can enter if you want.
Who has the knife?
I have the knife.
Okay.
Okay, so the whisper conversation happening outside is like, should we take the knife in? Should we try to intimidate him? What do we do?
I will do my message thing to Daniil and say, I don't know what they're saying or doing, but we might need to flash the dagger. I don't know if that'll get us killed, but...
I have a plan. It's probably a really stupid plan, but I have a plan.
Is there another kind?
Oh, not
from
that.
us.
Kind of just nonchalantly walk on in.
Welcome. I'll be right with you after I finish serving these fine
I'm
folks.
gonna ignore it and walk straight to the front and just kind of pull out the dagger and just rest it on the counter.
Really hope this guy is not connected to any of this at all.
Our mutual friend wanted me to let you know that your fabric order has been delayed. I'm not being super threatening, I'm just kind of laying it down. While I'm still holding it?
Are you going in too late?
I guess so.
Okay. He looks.
I told you it was a stupid idea.
Kind of raises one eyebrow. Forgive me, but you aren't the usual contact. How did you come by this?
Oh boy.
Deceive.
This is not Tennille talking. This is Felina thinking.
Perhaps we might address this in private once I finish with these folk, customers, and all of that.
We could continue to pretend we're not together.
Sure. Okay.
I apologize for the rudeness of this intrusion. If you are looking for something specific, as I said, I'm happy to refer you, but if you were liking, as you said, something for this dapper gentleman here, I am happy to take your measurements and begin on a custom order. You may also browse if you so choose.
I like to take a little bit of time and check out the different wares you have here. Maybe I could get something off the rack.
Yes, in that case, I would need your measurements, but feel free to browse as I address these newcomers, and then I will... why don't you find a few things, 2 or 3, that you like the look of, and I will use them as inspiration once we start on your custom order.
Fantastic idea.
Very well, thank you for your patience. And do you go with Renostus, or are you going to stay up at the counter?
Yeah, I think go with Renostus, but as Walkway suddenly Tennille, it's like, if you don't go too far, we should still be perhaps able to message each other, or just yell. We'll keep an ear out.
I'm kind of like turning my head to the side to respond.
Wait, did you say that?
Message.
Okay.
Message. So, like, I can't...
Remember, it takes a gesture to, like, cast message.
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, she was going to walk away from the counter,
Okay.
assuming our dwarf friend is distracted with...
I'll just kind of cough, like...
Well, you guys are there. You see that he's, like, clearly clocking what she's doing. Like, this seems like an individual who's, like, very aware.
Just like walk behind like a rack of clothes or something.
It's... The store... yeah, you could walk behind a rack of clothes and try it.
Mm-hmm.
I see the letter.
I'm also gigantic. I'm in front of me.
I'm also even more gigantic.
Yeah. And he turns back to you and he says, do you have the contents? And he says it in a very lower voice, so that not to carry to these two.
I have something, but there's something I would like in return.
I see. And what might that be?
Information.
Regarding?
The fox. And 2 individuals that he may have recently acquired.
And you can see he is not happy to hear the fox's name. Like, he is clearly, like, his whole face gets a little, like, pinched and angry. Almost like he's biting his lip.
We're gonna freaking die.
Well, perhaps an arrangement might be able to be made. Might I see the contents to prove that you have it?
I will bring out the letter and just kind of put it on the table, but not take my hand off of it.
I see that you have read its contents, because you can tell you've broke the seal on the letter. This is quite irregular and presumptuous, really.
Well, the bearer of this message was dead in an alley. We found his corpse, and he was killed in a very strange manner. So I'm not entirely sure that whatever this is all about, it's working out the way you were planning.
I see. That would explain its delay and how it came by your possession. However, you might be friendly, and it could work out nicely. Or it might not. And I'm afraid that you have come in here rather boldly and brusquely.
Christmas sex.
You're looking for a particular information on this fox character, but also about 2 individuals. I see. Well, might I have the letter? It belongs to someone I know.
No information about the two individuals that have come into his... Yeah.
I guess I will message you
Okay.
because I don't think mine requires gestures, and ask maybe we offer to fulfill the contract and get the information that way. If that's feasible.
What is your name?
Oh, I'm gonna make up a name. Oh crap. Lou.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
That's 4.
Okay.
I know he's not gonna believe me, but
Well, Mr. Liu. The individual to which this letter is addressed is perhaps a regular. We help each other out, as it were. I cannot speak for them, but they will likely request a meeting to hear what happened to our regular delivery. From the story from the mouth itself, as it were. Where are you staying? I will arrange a meeting for tomorrow evening.
Is the quench bench, is that an inn too?
It's a revel den, yeah.
It's rolled in. Well, so the quench bench, because that's the only thing that comes to mind right now.
Okay, make another deception check.
You could say we're going to be saying.
Oh yeah, we're going to be staying at the quench bench, which is a 9 for deception, because I can't lie.
Well, I will see to it that a message gets to you regarding a meeting with the individual whom I speak for in this capacity. As for information regarding this Fox character, I believe that, well, how can I put it? He is a parasite on the city and one of its worst and dirtiest criminals. However, the individual with whom I will arrange your meeting will have more to share on his subjects. As for, what did you say, these two that you were looking for? Perhaps you can give a description of something that happened.
Just to be clear, we are not friends with the Fox either. But
That remains to be seen.
he is involved in the kidnapping of, he called them the Sea Blood and the Raven.
I see. I did not know. Interesting. Very well. And when did this happen? How did it happen? Are these individuals you were looking for?
We are looking for them. They were taken on the road to Solni by the Breaker of Caravans. He apparently is working with the Fox now.
Ah, old Archie. Changed his name to Arcturus to sound more serious.
Inside check.
You're not there.
Am I not?
You're not listening. You were off.
No,
Were you hiding a Netka?
No.
I thought you were. Sorry, I thought you were. The two of you were trying to block out
No.
a Netka so she cast. Okay, insight check. Go ahead and roll.
Yes. Just because there's no reason I didn't want to. That'll be 20 total.
You get the sense that that factoid seems to be true.
Of all the things I could have insight checked.
Yep. Well, I see. I don't know much about the Fox's latest activities. Again, as I said, the individual will be more forthcoming about that. My name is Julius Nakavir, by the way.
Okay, that I want an insight check.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I'm not gonna roll well like last
In any case, I would like to point out that I know that I don't know that I've seen or know of any particular movements regarding that, but the pirate, rather the Vulture Lord, has been seen or heard to be seen around talking with some sort of pirate folk, representative of a larger, perhaps perhaps Ship did not seem the sharpest fellow, but the captain, I imagine, is a little more potent. As for the information, word gets around about pirates and vultures and all sorts, I'm certain. The docks are a good place for information if you know who to ask. Pay a visit to a friend of mine, Francis the Foam. He's a grey marketer, host of Dark Fresh Auctioneering. It's not the only moving house hidden in the Werewarrens. This fox fellow is known to have a few that bounce back and forward. But Francis cuts a sharp deal, so keep an eye on your purse. But he hears a lot of talk, Francis does. From buyers, sailors, unsavories alike. Knock twice, then twice again. Say Goldfin. That'll get you started. At the moment, I believe his is the furthest south warehouse, still touching the waterline. Best hurry before he moves again, though.
I will slide the letter across. Good faith.
Appreciate it. And, Lou, you might want to work on your line technique a little.
So,
What was your name, big fella?
I'm just gonna say nothing.
call him Tiny. Slap him on the back.
Ah, Avani. You were inside checking his name, Julius Nakavir. What did you roll?
15.
As far as you know, he's telling the truth. Well, I believe that concludes your order. He kind of says this to the shop at large. I don't believe for a second that you don't know each other. But if you really are looking to repair that rather nice waistcoat that you have there, my friends, don't be a stranger. I do actually, in fact, do custom orders.
I'm feeling a little bit bloated right now, but perhaps in the future I could come back and get sized up.
Of course, I will have that message toward you. The end of turning tomorrow. Take care.
Bold.
Say it was a smart plan.
Bold as brass.
Alright, so you head on out.
Yes.
I guess we weren't being subtle.
You get the sense that he can spot a liar. He's dealt with a lot of deception in his
He
day.
like lip twitches when he lies. He's gotta tell.
He's got an obvious tell.
He's really bad. That's why he doesn't play cards.
Yeah. Alright, so you guys exit. Did you want to, I know you said you were going to loop back to the bookstore. Did you want to do that now, or were you guys continuing on with this other stuff now? Just wanted to give you a chance to do that or think about it.
So out of game, now that we have like something on the horizon,
Yes.
is there other things we wanted to get done before?
Yeah, I
Like-
think go down and talk to Julius's friend, and then just sort of wait till.
Do we want to talk to his friend today?
It sounded like it was time sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah,
Talk to Francis first and then
yeah.
go from there.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys head over to, again, the Guildwater stalls
Yeah.
along the Wereft Long Street, and find, after a little bit of hustle and bustle and pushing and shoving through, go ahead and make, let's just get a round of perception checks. Those of you who have the light sensitivity, go ahead and roll with disadvantage.
Oh, that was so. Could have been so good.
Preemptive oof. Oh yeah. Yep, oof.
Only Renastus can see anything.
Renastus, what'd you get?
13.
Okay,
8.
okay,
8.
okay.
Would you believe 8?
Triple eights. Renastus, you hear a voice that sounds kind of hoarse coming from one direction, kind of along the sort of Revelry Row kind of side of things. the sort of southern section of the town, sort of seedier part of the trade so as it bleeds in towards some of the Guildwater Stalls region, across the way from the salt pole canals where you guys first encountered the patch poles. You hear a familiar voice kind of shouting and ranting incoherently, but it sounds like the same voice of the preacher/protester guy that you guys heard on your way out the first time. A guy who was sort of dirty and had sort of a reddish-orange hair and stuff like that. You don't see him or anything like that. And his voice kind of dies down, but you sort of just catch it off in the side and kind of make a note of it coming from the sort of more salt poles side of things. It's like across the Revelry Row from you guys.
Out loud, Renos is like, I thought that guy got arrested.
What are you hearing, Grandpa?
That one man that was raving about when we were exiting Solni.
Maybe he was released.
I don't know, he seems to be going on again, it sounds like. Can't you hear it?
I'm so blind, I can't hear anything.
You're also being,
okay.
the other sounds are being drowned out by the regular sort of tannoy announcements from the Crier Stones saying, how the people of Solni have nothing to fear if they renounce the shadow, and all the same announcements that we heard the last time when you came back to the gates. So,
I think I'm still a little, the grog is still kind of getting to me.
yeah, it's solidifying into like a curdled brick in your stomach.
Renos will give Tanya a little, flap.
Ah!
Are you
What was that for?
are you burping him?
We can't be feeling groggy and inattentive at a time like this. Pay attention.
Yes, sir. Jeez, so right.
He's very much so you need to be paying attention, right?
A young whippersnapper. Well, as you start to pay attention, you realize that you've made your way to the auction house/warehouse that was indicated, the southernmost along the water line, there on the Werrift Long Street in the Guildwater Stalls. Supposedly, according to Julius, the location of Francis the Foam's Dock Fresh Auctioneering.
We should keep in mind that we could be just walking right into the trap.
That is entirely possible.
I mean, we came pretty quick.
Well, before we go in, before we get right to the door or anything, I'm gonna kind of bump into Slate and give him Vigilant Blessing, just in case.
I like that you bump into him and casually cast some magic.
Yes.
I like it. It's very street caster kind.
Yeah. So you have advantage on initiative if things should go sour.
If she says.
Just I guess. Should we go ahead and
Yeah.
knock?
Two knocks, pause, two knocks, Goldfinch.
Goldfin.
Goldfin.
Maybe not let you talk.
You sort of hear like a shuffling behind the door, and a little sliding peephole appears, and a pair of bright green eyes, and what looks like a blue face, like a water genasi, peers around. Shuts it. He didn't say anything. Just kind of looks, shuts it, opens. And you see a rather handsome and kind of sly, smiling kind of guy, water genasi, wearing a rather nice-looking, sash toga combo situation that's kind of exposes his muscular arms. He's got what seems to be like an artful, somehow still moving anemone woven into his hair.
Cool.
And he says, "Ah, potential customers. Come, I don't do business on the landing."
In we go.
In we go.
And he kind of locks, 4 different locks on the door.
That seems extreme.
"Only if you're foolish to believe that you are safe here. All right, I, my friends, am Francis the Foam, as it were. How might I call you? And I'm pleased to make your acquaintance." In the background, you're hearing "Can I get 3? Can I get 3? Can I get 3 gold for this? 4 gold. 4 gold for the gentleman with the horns. 5. Can you get 5? You're hearing auctioneer stuff happening in the background. Don't mind that just yet. We'll get to a good purchase here just now. But first, I'd like each of your names, and how might I be able to do business with you?
Julius. Julius sent us. You can call me Lou.
Make a deception check.
I mean, I'm not pretending that it's my name. It's just 10.
I didn't ask for what I could call you. I asked for your name.
Well, that's what you're getting.
Very well. I will do business with the rest of you. Names, please.
I mean,
Don't all speak at once. Ah, Renostus. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm known as Tiny.
Again, I didn't ask for what you were known as. I asked for your name.
I don't even know my own name.
Well, what did your mother call you?
I have no idea.
That's a tragedy. I feel the same. And you, my dear?
Well, it's a bit complicated. For the first 8 years of my life, I was just known as Littlem. Didn't get a name.
Well, I funnily enough, this will surprise you, but I was also known as Littlem in the first 8 years of my life. What a coincidence! In any ways, how about your name now?
Anetka.
Anetka, there we go. See, was that so hard? Come on now. Alright, so, we've got items opening up on the floor in 3 minutes, so let's make this quick, unless of course you'd like to make a purchase. What, if Julius sent you, well, I do owe him quite a few anyway, that doesn't matter. What is it that I might do for you? Any friend of his is a friend of mine. More or less. For a price.
Does somebody else want to talk?
Don't all speak at once.
I'm just
6
going
charismas.
for honesty
Hard
here.
face, easy.
We had 2 friends kidnapped by the vulture on a job for the fox. We are looking for them.
Ah, well, that's a lot of information.
Yeah.
You are not good at hiding secrets or keeping things back, but I'm happy to take the information for free. Who knows? Could be profitable. Anyway, in any case, let's see. Pirates and flying things. Vultures and all
You didn't
sorts.
mention pirates. That's odd.
Didn't you? Oh, okay. Well, I do know that they are in cahoots, as it were. You're getting a lot of talk, as it were, and I hear a lot of things. I occasionally play cards over at the Quench Bench, and you hear a few things. A couple fisher folk said something about it. Let's see. Oh, what was it? Flying things, that's right. You'll want to be talking to Faraflin and Leto, the fishermen. They said a thing or two about seeing some strange flying things, few landing on the deck of a ship. That's where the pirates came in, and, well, frankly, I don't know much more than that, but if you'd like to make a purchase or participate in an auction and maybe win something, then might we be able to talk a little bit more. I mean, you understand. And I wouldn't mind a little tip for the information that I've given so far.
Just hand over a gold.
I knew we could be friends. Pockets the coin. Well, in any case, I've got to run. Zareen and Krogan are going to need the third, more experienced auctioneer to sell some of our more exclusive items. Would you like to be a part of an auction yourselves, or are we going to be moving along? We do specialize in a few various sorts of things, but our primary business is hidden or unopened lockboxes, containers, things by which you won't know what might be found within. And it's more exciting this way because we have each one tells a little story from the outside about what might be contained therein, what value might be able to find somewhere within its bountiful possibilities. We get all sorts, booty from pirates and moving lost crates off the back of wagons, all sorts, and so you never know what you might be able to find. If you get the right price, you could get quite a handsome, tidy profit.
Well, you guys, I must say I do feel obligated to see what Tristophan's competitors are offering.
I'll be.
Oh, Tristophan! He could never be a competition of ours. Ah, the
That's
fool.
determined. We will see if that's true or not.
Well, feel free to go ahead and see yourself to floor number 3. I believe Zareen, Miss Zest, will be running another container in just a minute.
And we're not just gonna head to the location that he indicated.
Okay, so you guys go through. You guys are in like a vestibule area, and you open up to a big, broad warehouse that's been sort of hollowed out into these like sections with almost like imagine if it was like cubbies, but they're big divisions in the building itself that have been built and have sort of almost as if it's like a courtroom, raised platform where the auctioneer can display the item in question and speak out. And you see 2 main ones that are occupied with varying individuals, sort of merchants and salty dogs and all sorts, who are sort of like, yep, like raising their hands or indicating that they're bidding for auctions, as a salt dwarf, or one of these red-haired dwarf individuals, is sort of doing the auctioneer, like, can I get 4? Can I get 4? 4 for the gentleman in the nice hat, 4, and 5 for the lady with the purple hair, 5, going once, going twice, sold! And he's kind of going through and doing the next thing. And you see, Francis leads you to a area that is presided over by a tiefling woman, rather little heavier set, but still quite attractive looking. She's got sort of a sea green-blue tinge that makes you think possibly of Genasi heritage, but for the sort of horns, which are nicely adorned with some gold rings. And you see a few individuals sort of approach, as well as a sort of strong and silent, large half-orc reaches and puts down a big chest with a lock there. And the lady behind sort of, and Francis says, "Good luck in your bidding. I hope you win something, or at least pay a good price. Let me know when you're ready to leave." And he kind of saunters off, his anemone crown just swaying. Not dissimilar to the way Rhinoceros would wear his plant occasionally. Though a little shorter and woven into his hair. And the tiefling sort of pauses for dramatic effect. Says, "This recent acquisition was acquired from the various shipping routes to and from the Sunswell Isles. Could have fallen off a merchant ship. Who's to say, really? But the contents are seemingly rather heavy from our guess. Possibly something with some metal or stone in there. But who's to say for sure? We're going to... it's recently... no water damage. Recently acquired. Seems to be, according to our expert, no older than 6 turnings. And, of course, as you can tell, has not been opened. We will start the bidding at 3 gold. That'll be 3 gold, 3 gold. Can I get 3 gold from this gentleman? Oh, the gentleman in the nice robe, 3 gold. Can I get 4? 4 gold, 4 gold, 4 gold from the madam over there in the pink hat. 6 gold, 6 gold. Can I get 6? Can I get 6? Go, she's kind of doing the thing. Are you guys bidding?
I'll throw in some gold towards it.
I'll throw some...
Okay, as you guys are discussing, it's like, can I get 12? Can I get 12? Can I get 14? 14 gold! 14 gold! Yes, 14 gold to the lady on the back of the shoulders of the man. Can I get a 9? Can I get 6, 7, 17, 19 gold? 19 gold to the gentleman going once, going twice. This is your chance.
Anyone?
Do we want to spend some
Pernassus is
gold?
gonna watch the first one for sure.
Okay. Can I get 19 gold? Going once, going twice. Sold to the lady in the nice pink hat. All right. And you see that this sort of lady in a nice pink hat that sort of drapes with streamers that sort of cover her face a little bit. She kind of smiles to herself as she sort of claps her hands, and a pair of attendants, also burly-looking humans this time, wheel out a wagon, place the chest in the wagon, and she departs with her newly found treasure chest. All right, for our next object, we've got this lovely sealed crate, courtesy of the Cracked Compass Company. Another shipping acquisition, as it were. This one is a little older, a little bit of water damage you can see on the side there. Slight rust to the lock. Our appraiser says that it's likely that this item was about 11 to 14 turnings old. So we will start the bidding with a nice 1 gold, 5 silver. 1 gold, 5 silver. 1 gold, 5 silver. Can I get it? Oh, yep, 2 gold for the half-orc lady who's a little bit vertically challenged. Can we get 3? Can we get 3 gold for someone?
3 gold.
3 gold. 3 gold to the man in the
We can go together.
the emo looking emo looking elf. 3 gold. 3 gold. Can I get 3? Can I get 4? Can I get 4? Yep, 4 to the half orc with the pierced tusks. Can I get 5? Can I get 5? 5 gold to the vertically challenged orc. Can I get 6? Can I get 6? Up 6 to the turtle man back in the back there. Nice to see you, well decorated shell. Can I get 7? Can I get 7 gold? 8 gold. 8 gold. Can I get 8? Can I get 8? Okay, back to 7. 7 gold. 7 gold. Going once. 7 gold to the emo looking elf. Can I get 7 gold? Can I going once? Going twice? Sold. And you just bams the gavel. You can collect your purses directly.
Do you want to split it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3.5 each.
And the big burly half orc lifting the crate, just like, that'll be 3 gold.
But to carry it? For him to carry it, is that what I was asking?
Yes, if you'd like it to be, if you'd like it to be delivered. I don't know what I was doing with that voice.
So, Tiny, can you carry it?
Probably.
He looks a little like miffed at the idea of someone who's like taller than he is, because he's like a 7-foot orc. He's really tall. Very well. You guys paid 7 gold total?
Yeah.
That'll be 7 gold for your purchase.
We'll turn over our money.
Why are you voting against each other?
Francis thanks you. And he kind of hands over the heavy object.
And it's a crate.
It's a crate. Mm-hmm. And it's locked. It's got a padlock on it.
I guess I'm now holding a crate.
I'm sorry?
I'm now holding a crate. Yes.
Yeah. Would you like a crowbar?
I'll pull out my thieves' tools. We're good.
All right. Good day. Kind of goes back to what he was doing. All right. Did you want to unlock it here?
Might as well. It's relatively safe inside, I imagine. I mean,
Okay.
safer than outside.
Sure. Go ahead and make a dexterity check with thieves' tools. I like at the first sign of like something interesting like this auction, you're just like, well, forget our clues. Let's get a bid on this thing.
We're trying to get in Francis's favor.
It's 21.
Nicholas, if you offer gambling in a dice-based game, I'm not going to say no.
21, okay. That is a success. Inside, so you, inside, it seems like there is some nice fabrics or silks of some kind. They look like they were perhaps worth a little bit more than before the soggy water and mold got to them. You might be able to still scrounge up some wealth for them. Inside, you also see what looks like a small pouch with some like dust or something in it. This seems to be also a little bit moldy on the outside, but opening it up and sort of like, kind of just getting the whiff, you're just sort of like, oh, jeez. But then as you like take a second, you just like, You just feel a little more smiley.
Okay.
Just so smiling. Got it.
Yeah, it seems like it's some kind of pouch. It's got a small amount in it, but it's sort of a multicolored, like bright teal and like gold colored dust.
I'll kind of put that in my pocket.
Okay.
We should be careful. We don't know, like, you know, it could be something like the pink and gold substance.
It doesn't look sort of like that,
Well,
as much, but yeah.
She means drugs.
Yes.
It could be drugs.
It could, yes.
Well,
You seem to real small there. I didn't think you knew how. I'm a little worried.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of permanently stuck like that.
I thought as high as you went was like flat. Yeah.
smiles? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, no
I
one's
think
looking.
I saw him do it once when I was a child. Yeah. I just figured
I smiled when the donkey ears went away.
you did. I guess you did. Yeah, but you know, he had just I was like 3. He had just bought me my first pair of thieves' tools, and I
that
got
was such a good day.
I was able to get a door open.
when he smiled after his ears went away, I thought that was just like his facial structure realigned.
As you guys are talking, and Tennille's reacting to that, Francis comes over. He's, well, my friends, I see that you bid and won something. It seems that despite its water damage, it seems that you could possibly turn a nice profit. So good on you there. Is there a particular something else that I can do for you, or I gave you the information that you would like? Would you like to stay for another auction? Of course, it would be could be more interesting. And you hear like we're about to launch into the next set of sales. A little bit higher escalation in price, but also in exclusivity, of course. And you can hear like the prices being bandied back and forth are in like the 50 to 120 range.
I think that's enough for us today.
Too rich for your blood, I understand. Well, come back when your points are quite. Oh, did I say that wrong? It's your purses are quite heavier with coin. That's what it was. I sometimes speak a little too quickly, and my tongue is just a little bit not ready to keep up with my brain. You understand? In any case, it's the auctioneer in me. It always happens. It just comes out a big cloud, a big spurt. It's impressive, really. But anyway, in any case, is there anything else? All right. Don't tell anyone where you came from it, unless they're going to be making a purchase. If the police come knocking, we will slit your throats when you're sleeping. Have a good day.
Ah, you're weirdly not the only people in the city that threatened to do that.
Well, you know, it's nice to know that there are other streetwise types now. Gallivant off, sally forth, go adventure.
I am living up to our namesake now. I'm very bewildered by all of that. You know.
He's kind of like pushing you out the door.
Okay.
Well, we now know where to go to buy stolen goods.
Yes, goodbye.
We are really bad at talking to people.
And the little slit opens behind and says, well, if you'd like to come back, you know, maybe make a higher purchase, or if you'd like, when we relocate, we might, you know, keep an ear to the ground. You might hear about our new location.
I was about to ask. It sounds like you move around quite a bit.
We do, yes. We're not the only ones. There's a lot of fierce competition out there, and, you know, we've had a few times where things get a little heated. And we've had a few individuals where, well, they haven't quite exactly survived. A couple of warehouses burned down, a couple of people slaughtered. You know, competition, you know, from that fox fellow is pretty fierce. So anyway, take care, bye. And you hear again, there's like 6 panic room locking on the door. And you are standing there listening to the... I think we lost Cat.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, no.
Ren, come on, Ren.
Alrighty. Well, perhaps that's a good time to stop. It is about 9 o'clock here. Maybe we'll have an earlier stop for the evening. You want to go shut my computer real fast? Just shut the laptop. So, we'll probably stop there, since it's 9 o'clock and we're just about to, you know, without Cat, I don't want to miss too much more. But, you know, as the party has now gained several more pieces of information and has certainly lightened their purses pretty much at every turn, the team will have to be a little more frugal, perhaps, as they move along. But on the other hand, they do have a few places to start, perhaps with this Ferroflin and Leto individual who is able to provide information, hearing about this flying about and big flying creatures landing on ship decks or something like that. Whatever is to be found, it seems like the Quench Bench might be the place to do it. So next time we will pick up with the party possibly heading down that lead or other ones that they have, and the plot seems to be thickening. The thick seems to be plotting. So for those of you watching at home, thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for bearing with my scatterbrainedness as I was going through my physical notes rather than my digital ones. Feel free to find us on YouTube and on Instagram at DragonPoetSociety. You can just look us up there. Usually these videos come out in the next couple days after we record them. And you can watch the upload and tell your friends, tell your enemies, send them our way, and, you know, let us know what you think of the session so far. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys for being part of tonight's session. Tonight's next week's session will be still held on Boxing Day, 26th, I believe, is next Sunday. So I know Slate might not be able to make it, but we're still going to try and power on with the even shortened group there. I'll probably be playing Slate, or maybe if they're available, Nate or Sarah might play your character instead. So we will pick up next week with whatever comes to from that. So thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
Night.